There he is. It's the best groomed Avenger. I mean, say what you will about the others. They may be more powerful. They may be more godlike.
Yeah.
The grooming game on Doctor Strange. Congratulations, my friend.
He kicks ass. That's definitely on his trump card. Definitely.
So in the footage I've seen of this film, I think it's safe to say that Doctor Strange has never screamed more, grimaced more, and we also see the return of shirtless Ben. Do I have the big talking points down? Is that what we need to know? Is there anything else I need to know going into
That's
Multiverse?
it. That's the movie. I don't think we really need to speak any more about anything. I mean, I could try, but I won't. I mean, I think you've summed it all up neatly. It's weird, isn't it? I think I kind of remember Kevin saying to me in the first film as we were making it, but also afterwards, I don't think we've ever put an actor through as much as we have you. I said, what are you talking about? I mean, the origin stories, loads of people have gone through suffering, revolutions, blah, blah, blah. You went, yeah, but they've got suits or they have masks or they have some kind of transformation where they're then digi-doubled or turned into something they can't possibly play. You're there because it's your face, it's, your body. And there was a lot more of that in this. So yeah, I did do a lot of screaming and suffering.
And some of it on camera too.
Exactly.
I mean, some would argue this is why you get the big bucks, my friend. I mean, there are only so many actors that can sell that kind of thing and can sell lines like, why was that octopus trying to eat you? I mean, I can't do that.
You could. You definitely could. I love the challenges of this character. I love, first of all, the flavors I get to play with him. He's a complex human and utterly frail and broken like all of us are. And yet at the same time, he has this extraordinary power. And part of what fuels him is his ego and his will and his arrogance, which is all very enjoyable, but it also gets deconstructed. And then he's not rigid, he's pliable. He does reshape himself and learn and is capable of adjusting. So there's an evolution for him here, let alone the fact that he's faced with the multiverse and other versions and other choices that his self could have made.
We know that dreams and nightmares factor into this story.
Yeah.
So I'm curious, have you ever had a Doctor Strange related nightmare?
No, I mean, I think, probably whilst making this, I probably dreamt certain scenes for sure, but I think, no, not as him, not in character. And I've been in other people's stuff. I was in The Sopranos once in a dream. I mean, like really in The Sopranos. Like I was either going to be whacked or made. It was like a knife edge moment in that series. I think I was watching way too much of it at the time. And I still am obsessed with it.
Oh, speaking of the multiverse, I mean, if we extrapolate that into kind of these alternate realities, these different paths that we could have gone down. If the internet is to be trusted, and as you know, Ben,
it really is
to be trusted. Everything's true there.
Everything's true.
You were offered Malekith in Thor: The Dark World. That could have been your Marvel character, supposedly. Do you remember wrestling with that as the bad guy in Thor: The Dark World? That you could have done that one, or no?
No, but I stuck around for this. I definitely stuck around for this.
So the internet got it half right. There were other opportunities, but that wasn't the one.
There was possibly another opportunity, and I just went, it's good, but I really want to. I don't know. Don't think me wrong, but I'm gonna roll the dice on this, and you might never pick up the phone again, or I might never ring me again if you pick up. I'm sure Kevin Feige picks up the phone all the time and would have done afterwards, not necessarily to ring me about anything.
You should go to a casino because you waited for the right one.
I waited for the right one. I bet on black and I won. This is a longer journey and a really enriching one. And like I said, for all the rewards this character brings, it's just I love being a Doctor Strange. I really do.
One of the joys of this one will be that we get to see a lot of Lizzie Olsen in this, who I always love. She also is your match when it comes to hand theatrics, with all due respect.
She got it down. And she started before I did, so, I'm kind of following her wake. But it's a different language. It's a different thing.
How do you keep coming up with new moves? I mean, this is like, it sounds silly, but it's a real
We both rely
thing.
very heavily on brilliant choreographers. And often, I think that's so for her, but I mean, a lot of, the only thing that didn't get rewritten in this film is the title. Okay, so every day we were trying to do things that were new, literally to all of us, sometimes even the writer. We were trying to keep him fresh. Obviously, the old favourites return of his moves, whether it's levitating cloak, whether it's, going after something with an Eldritch Whip or the shield or portaling, etc. But there's a lot of stuff in here that we drew from the comic lore. And sometimes on the day going, I've done this so many times. Let's try and think of something else. And literally J-Funk come to set. Julian is his real name. J-Funk, his working name. Look on YouTube. He's amazing. He's a hand tutter. It's like break dancing for hands. And he's with his imagination and then me going, no, I can't do that. We would come to some kind of compromise that I could do and extrapolate it. And look, what's great about this is it's going to result in something much bigger than the hand movement. So you have to have a conversation with not just a director and a producer, have we got the budget to turn this into something? You don't have to turn to the SFX department and go, am I going to look like a complete or are you going to turn this into something? Or am I just going to be doing that and nothing's going to happen?
Right. I'm constantly amazed at what Marvel was able to do where others can't, where like you've described this and you're very frank about the process. It's a very unique process of sort of like in some films, not having a script. And this is not in the handbook of how you do films, but somehow they make it work. And I'm curious, like for you as an actor, like how many times have you shown up on set and you literally don't know what you're saying? Like you don't understand the context of the scene. And I heard the stories from Infinity War and Endgame too. I mean, this, again, it's not unique to Strange, but how do you survive in those circumstances?
It's hard, and it's hard sometimes, but you know, like you say, it's a tried and tested technique that seems to always come out in the wash. And you just have to lean back on that with a bit of trust at times. But yeah, you know, these films wouldn't be any good unless all of us were driving for perfection. So I don't like to leave things alone until I think they're better than they were or the best that they could be. There are moments when that works really well, and the moments when it's very difficult for everyone. And I think also because we're entering this huge new phase of complexity with the multiverse, you're drawing in of other productions, which some had finished shooting, some Sam hadn't seen or I hadn't seen, some were being shot at the same time, like Spider-Man. You know, they were evolving stuff on that, and then had a relay effect on us because that's the order of the story for Strange. That's another added complication to an already complicated piece. So in a way, the third act couldn't be written, or some of the first two acts couldn't be written until all the pieces before were kind of known and realized and committed to. It's kind of extraordinary. It's like working on a series. This is the largest long form serial that there is out there, really. And it all ties in, whether it's the streaming shows content or whether it's the movie theater content. It's all related.
You mentioned No Way Home, and this might be my most controversial question, because if you look on the internet, but there are 1,000 think pieces about, is Doctor Strange actually kind of crappy at his job? Is Doctor Strange to blame? I mean, you put on a good front, you sound smart, Ben. You got the cape and everything, but this guy actually Cloak, sorry.
If you gotta take me down, get it right.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're totally right. But you get the gist.
I'd say this. Because he's a human being, and we all make mistakes, including swearing in an MTV interview. But you know what? My parents probably aren't watching. Sorry, Josh. But the truth is this. There has to be human frailty to these characters, and to say he did his job, well, everyone's a freaking critic. Do you know what I mean? You get up there and do his work. I'd like to see how you would have come up with a solution for Endgame, for Infinity War, he's got a pretty good track record. So, he made some mistakes. Yes. But are they mistakes, or are they born out of a deep care for an individual? Someone who is not only a foot soldier, but a young man who's lost his way and his position in his actual life, but also his mentor in the shape of Peter Parker. And I think what he does from that is out of a very human motivation. If you don't want your superheroes to be human, then stop watching Marvel films, because that's what makes them great, and that's what makes them relatable. So I would agree with the critics. He isn't, I think he's the worst superhero, but I think he's made some catastrophic decisions and mistakes, and there might be more to come. But guess what? That's what these evolving stories and characters are about, and taking responsibility for all of it. And it's not like it's new. I mean, was it a mistake for Tony Stark to put all that tech out into the world that could be hijacked? Was it a mistake that Soldier Serum didn't get locked down? There's so many loopholes and pitfalls that create a wonderful ripple effect through the multiverse too now, which means we have an infinite number of stories to tell.